Hello, Farshad. It's very nice to see you.
Hi, Doug. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Yourself?
Very good. Thank you. Good to see you too.
Yeah, well, you look good. You're all dressed up
Thank
and
you.
spiffy. That's wonderful. Before we get going, no one knows me. Everybody knows you, of course. My name is Doug Brown, and I'm a major shareholder of the Doubleview Gold Corporation here in Vancouver. And I initiated this Q&A session with the president of Doubleview Gold, and I'm introducing you as Mr. Farshad Shirvani. So again, thank you for agreeing to this interview, Farshad.
Thank you again. Yes, of course. Anytime.
All right. Well, look, there was a major announcement today, and I thought I have a lot of questions on what this means for the future. There have been several topics or points which Doubleview has raised over the past many months, and I thought the agreement from today paves the way for some discussion and some conclusion on those points. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to ask you those, Farshad. So again, thank you for agreeing to meet me in this format. Just for background, Doubleview is a Canadian and US listed mining exploration company that owns a property in British Columbia's Golden Triangle area and called the Hat. So the Hat was a greenfield discovery by Doubleview, and the Hat shows significant potential for copper and gold primarily, but also cobalt, palladium, and other metals. And I wanted to show you, Farshad, that I've dressed appropriately for the day. So I've got a copper.
Nice.
It's actually brass. Brass is copper and zinc. A copper cufflink on my left arm, and I've got a solid gold cufflink on my right. So I thought it was appropriate for the interview talking about Doubleview. So Doubleview conducted an IP or induced polarization geophysical scan a few years ago. The footprint shows great potential for a 4 billion ton deposit target. Drill results that have been done over the past couple of years, they showed a range of materials, originally gold, but then copper, and now we're finding cobalt and palladium, lots of other things that are really interesting and exciting. So Doubleview is or owns a polymetallic porphyry deposit that investors like myself think has a significant potential. So I know that's certainly why I became interested in and own a portion of Doubleview. We're talking today because there's been a Doubleview trading halt since June 25th, and shareholders like myself, we've been expecting to hear news that was referenced in the trading halt notice, which just said there was pending and significant announcement. That announcement has now come, and we'd like to just be able to speak to you, Farshad, about the details. I'll ask you as much as I can. I realize that you are limited in how far you can go on certain topics, but I'll ask. And if you can't provide an answer just because of confidentiality, etc., I get it, and I hope everybody else gets that.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
I have two in this role as an investor. I've got 2 points that I'd just like to raise for other investors. This is not for Farshad. The first is that we held the AGM with Farshad back in February of this year. We found many shareholders didn't receive the AGM documents, and that's because their registered postal address was incorrect with their broker. That's not something that Farshad or Doubleview control at all. It's up to the individual investor to make sure that their registered postal address is correct. So if you have any question at all about what your address is, call your broker right away and just make sure your current address is registered with them. Okay, so thank you, shareholders. And it's very material because if a matter arises which requires your vote, the only way you can vote is to receive the voting materials by post. The second topic is the way that a lot of shareholders communicate with each other. We use Telegram, which is a messaging application on the web. download the Telegram app to your desktop or to your phone, search for Doubleview or Doubleview Gold, and it will take you to our chat board. There are currently 369 investors registered to that chat, and it's a very active and lively discussion. Every day there's something happening. The chat is moderated, so it stays professional and it stays on point. So it tends to be about mining, minerals, and primarily Doubleview. Okay, so if you're not on that chat, go and give it a shot. It's very entertaining and very informative for me in particular. So before I get going with the questions, Farshad, is there anything you'd like to say in general to the audience today before I start?
We go over a lot of things right now that you refer to. There are many topics. About the chat room, I like it because I receive questions from there, and I receive information from there that I have to confirm or talk about it, but we don't control it. And I personally never review it at all because there's not such time for me to go over everything in there. But I appreciate all the incoming questions right now. Our conversation is based on that, I believe.
It is. I read the board throughout the day, and I know I have a very good sense of what people would like to ask, and it relates to things that you've issued over the past 6 months through press releases and videos and things. So,
yes.
Okay, well, look, I'll kick off the first question. I think I've got about 6, maybe one more. But so the first question, of course, relates to the announcement today. So to go back a bit, in June of this year, Chad Norman Day, who is the president of the Tahltan central government. Just for everyone's benefit, the Tahltan central government is the administrative and governing body of the Tahltan Band, which is a First Nations band that more or less covers the Golden Triangle in British Columbia. So the government of British Columbia, the federal government, private enterprise have a three-way working arrangement with the First Nations groups in British Columbia to develop land and in terms of mining, minerals, timber, lumber, and then fisheries and sea products. So Chad Norman Day agreed to a reconciliation agreement with the BC government. I think it was 3 to 4 weeks ago, and that included a framework for co-development of land use in the way that I described just a bit ago. Shareholders were hoping that this paved the way for a communication agreement specifically between the Tahltan government and Doubleview for development of the HAT property. The BC government agreement with the Tahltan central government was a general announcement and not specific to a particular project like the HAT. So today there was an announcement of the trading resuming. The Doubleview trading has been halted since June 25th, and the news today was very promising information relating to a specific communication agreement between the Tahltan Nation and Doubleview. It was great to see that occur, Farshad. And just generally speaking, would you please give us your thoughts on development opportunities that the agreement now creates?
Yes, of course. Right now, we have an agreement with Tahltan central government. First of all, I appreciate them here publicly. I apologize for the miscommunication that we've had in the past, and we do our best effort that never happens again. And we've worked with them. I'm very pleased because of that. It has paved the way to have mutual benefit agreement and working together to develop this deposit. And I'm sure that they hope that they have accepted our apology later on. We are going to see the community and go face to face and basically offer that even face to face. I'm very pleased with that decision that we come together and we were working together. On the matter that you referred to, and that's going back to shared decision making between Tahltan central government and the province, I'm very pleased to see that. This paves the way for everyone. It's for the benefit of everyone. Now the companies can make better decisions. They know where they're going. The communities, First Nations, they have the better understanding. They know where is right and work and not to work. And it is a fair playground for everyone, fair business activity for everyone. I'm very pleased to hear that. That was the best happened in BC and to the First Nations and to us. I believe this was the first step in reconciliation and understanding how we should work together. Of course, we have in the past we had miscommunication, went wrong, broken. Right now we are starting a new era. I believe this is a new birth for Doubleview, and it has created new opportunity right from ground zero. And here is the platform that we hopefully we move forward, and we have better yet to come for us.
Farsha, I think everybody was so pleased to see that news announcement today. So I know
Yes.
no more. Maybe you're more happy than we are. I would expect so.
Of course.
Yeah. So I'm sure it took a
Thank
long
you.
time and it was hard to work out, but you got it. So
Yes.
thanks to you, and also on behalf of the investors, I think we should thank Chad Normanday and the Tahltan Central Government for working with Doubleview on this. So thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, second question. So we were speaking about the BC government before. I want to lift the level up to Ottawa, to the federal government. On March 11th this year, 2021, the Minister of Natural Resources in Canada released a list of 31 strategic minerals that contribute to the sustainable economic success of Canada. These minerals are required in Canada. Some or many or all perhaps are available in Canada, but they're all required here. And they're essential to our national industry and to our national security. Canada, the federal government, wants to make sure that we have ample supply of those minerals, and those in which we have excess supply of, we want to make sure that that we develop them to take advantage of global opportunities. The strategic list includes things like copper, and cobalt and nickel, the palladium family, rhodium, scandium. There's 31 in total. We know a lot about Doubleview's copper results, and you've mentioned over in the past 6 months, 12 months, other metals that you found through assay result reporting. Metals like cobalt and scandium. So I'd like you, if you can, if it's available, can you talk about the expanded metallurgy work that you've conducted over the past months, Farshad? Thank you.
Yes. What is happening right now, the world is changing. The world is going to EV, and the industries are changing because of the all the other industries that they're flourishing right now. The best one is the EV industry. It needs a lot of copper, and it needs a lot of cobalt and other significant elements. The government came in and they announced all of those as strategic metals. And out of those strategic metals, I can't refer to all of them at this moment because for undisclosed material that we have, we're working on it. We have to get the confirmation from our metallurgists. Some of them are very significant than before, and we will receive them. But those have put the HAT project at a very specific point right now compared to many other deposits. Cobalt is one of them. I'm not sure we have announced it. Scandium, we are reviewing that. And some other metals. It's changing and morphing from porphyry that used to be copper and gold into copper, gold, plus and plus and plus, that it will come. And those are, once we receive the data, we will publish them. I believe the government has taken a good action to keep this strategic metals in North America. One of the biggest consumers in the world is United States. United States, I believe a few years ago, when I heard $1 trillion, it was a very good, big package to rescue the banks. Now we're listening to multi-trillion dollars, and all of that majority is going to go to the industries, and they go to changing the cars from combustion engines into electrical vehicles. And that takes a lot of copper and other commodities. Everything has to be changed. And the governments, United States and Canada, in order to save and secure the North American economy, they have to be ready for that. And one of the components they need are deposits. And I think we are getting to be ready for that era. And we have many of those components. At least at this stage, we know that we have 5 of them that I can publicly say. Then we come to the next ones as they come out, and we will publish them. And I am very pleased with what's going on with our metallurgy. It's been very promising, very, very promising. Better yet to come. We will announce them as they come in.
Okay, well, thanks for that update. I know you talked about the move toward EV, electric vehicles, electric cars. The whole world is going. There's a major effort right across the world at the government level, and then also at the private enterprise level, manufacturing, just to decarbonize our world and to electrify our world. And I think you summed it up really well, that we need a lot of metal to just to make that happen. So I don't know. I'm not even going to ask you, but it'd be interesting to look up how much copper you need in a car if it was running on a petroleum-based engine versus just battery alone. I think it's multiples, if I'm not mistaken. So, to support this move to EV, it's a huge increase in metal requirements. And forward-thinking governments, and I'm including Canada in that as well, are looking at the future. They realize that for industry to support this global, effort, this wave toward decarbonization and electrification, they need to make sure that we've got the raw materials that go in. Canadian auto industry is very prominent, very big. Things like you talked about cobalt. The Canadian aerospace industry is huge, and cobalt is a lightweight metal that can take very high temperatures. So you talk about aircraft engines, right? One of the reasons that Canada had cobalt also on that list is that for strategic national security reasons, right? We need fighter jets to protect our airspace, and cobalt goes into the engines that manufacturers use to build jet airfighters. So, anyways, there's so many applications for these metals, and I've been just reading the newspapers, reading the net, watching TV, and there's been just so much more content about batteries and these strategic metals. I think I was reading the New York Times 2-3 weeks ago, and the front page article talked about metals. It talked about the subject that we're discussing right now. So it's becoming much more of a daily topic, I think, for more and more people. So anyways, very, very interesting to be invested in Doubleview at this point because of the range of metals that it contains. So look, enough about that. That's great, Farshad, just talking about the future and the new metals. There's some older topics that you had brought up over the past 6 to 12 months in press releases and videos that I just wanted to get us caught up on. The first one, I think, that we haven't heard any news about is the drill results from holes 36 and 37. Those 2 holes, just for background, they were done in 2020 toward the end of the year. One of them was, I believe, 973 meters deep. The other was, I think, in the area of 400 to 500 meters. And we've been waiting to see those results for quite some time. I think the issue with that the communication agreement today discussed, I think that was holding matters up. So can you just talk about when we can start to see assay results on those 2 holes, Farshad? And thank you.
Yes, of course. We had a strategy in moving after the events that lately happened, that we wanted just to stay away from going out and promoting the company. We had only one news release to issue some material that we had to do that. Other than that, we waited, and right now we are in the receipt of the assay data. We haven't received it yet, but once we receive it, we want to announce it and put the results out there. In conjunction with that, I'm waiting for some clearance from the metallurgy because there are many things changing in our deposit model. The deposit model used to be copper, gold, changed to gold, copper to be equivalent, and then now other components have been added to it, and they are very significant. Of course, we are doing the metallurgy. If we don't do it right now, we don't have it in our basket to ask for the value for them, and that's what we're doing. We're gonna come out with those news. I'm very excited to publish them because I feel confident of what we have. The deposit, it keeps showing the progress, and we want to go back and go back at work. We need this data to be published internally so we can see where the model is, so we can start the drilling and further exploration to come in.
Okay, understandably, you can't release too much information about that. I get that. Now, if you could, I want to push in the shovel a bit here. I guess that's a good mining phrase. You talked about you mentioned there's some other metals that are appearing in the results that you've seen, and you mentioned a few of them. I'm interested in scandium, which is a little known metal, but it's becoming increasingly important with the move to EV and decarbonization. Is there anything you can tell us give us a little bit of a info about the scandium results that you've got?
Yes, scandium is lately has been on the radar of some major mining companies, and lately has shown that it can be associated with fast charging batteries, and they're doing studies in China. That's why it came up. And the other thing is, scandium in the past has been really difficult to extract from the material. Nowadays, the technologies out there, some of the technologies have been expensive. Now they decreased the cost on that, and it becoming gradually very important, very, very important. I believe in the past 2-3 months, I've seen many articles on that. Majority has been on the oxide type of it. Of course, our deposit is not oxide, is related to porphyry and sulfide, and our metallurgists are working on it. And the reason I put it in the news release just to show that we are working on other components as well. That's been important, but in the past, we just didn't know how to deal with that. But now we're shedding light on that in the coming months. Hopefully soon we're going to receive the report that we're going to announce them as well and put them in our report. I'm very excited on that. It's very, very interesting topic.
Yeah, I've learned so much about metals in the past year, being a Doubleview shareholder. I find this very, very interesting, actually. And of course, it's not just a passive investment, interest. What you're doing relates to daily lives. This decarbonization, electrification. It affects us in tangible terms, and that's why it's, I think, very interesting and top of mind and topical with just so many people out there. Okay.
Yes.
So Farshad, second to last question. So, and then we'll get back to our normal days. The last drilling in the hat was in December of last year, 2020. And we were expecting you to resume drilling in 2021, actually quite early. It's July already, and the drilling hasn't resumed. So we're halfway through the year, and we'd like to know, are you going to continue drilling?
Of course, yes. Out of respect to the First Nations, we don't want to start that until we get an agreement going. Now we got the agreement. I am right now working on the database. Hopefully we get this data soon. We'll put it in the model because this model shows where to go next as we're moving forward. And we want to drill, of course, in near future, we're looking forward into having a resource calculation. That's why we want to do it as soon as possible. Okay. So I'm hoping this year is going to be a better year compared to any year that we've had for drilling, because now we got a larger deposit, a deeper deposit in all aspects of it, and we want to just close that volume that we can compared to the whole project, So at least we can bring the value and show it to the world and to our shareholders
Right.
and improve on that. Yes, I'm aggressively looking into that to get back to the drilling right away as soon as possible.
Yeah. You mentioned that at the AGM. I think I asked you about how many holes you needed to drill given the IP results, and you said that the IP results correlated with the what you found with the drilled, the drill results in a way that you'd never seen before. So what you were saying was the IP scan is quite. We should have great confidence in the IP results, because every time you drill, you verify that the IP is exactly what the IP predicted exactly what you got. So the more that you drill, all you're doing is verifying and making more confident the results of the IP scan. So yeah, more drilling just adds more confidence, and I hope that we reach a point where you just don't even need to drill anymore, because the IP results speak for themselves. I think you said as well that the IP scan shows you the three-dimensional structure and size of whatever the porphyry looks like, but it doesn't show what's in the porphyry. And the drill results, of course, as you extract cores, you're able to do testing and tell what's in there. So then the drill results keep showing more and more good things. So we're pretty excited about that.
Yes.
Okay, last question, Farshad, and then I can let you get back to your busy day. Maybe it's the big question. You can't give us a specific answer, I'm sure, but I got to ask. So we're all shareholders. We're all interested in a potential buyout offer. I have to ask, what's the interest been from major mining companies? Has anybody approached you that you can talk about?
All I can say is we're under CAs with some. That's all I can say, but I cannot disclose like who they are and what we're doing. Okay. Of course, we've been on the radar of many major mining companies, and we will let you know as soon as we get some headway with them.
Okay.
And of course.
All right. I knew you couldn't answer that, but I needed to ask.
Yes, our goal is the same as my goal has been from the beginning to develop this project and create a volume. And as we move forward along the way, this is not basically my cup of tea. I'm not a miner. At the end of the day, if worst comes to worst, yes, I will be a miner. I can learn that fast, but I don't want to be a miner. And we want to develop and give it to a major mining company that they can really work on it and develop it, because I want to see at some point this is a mine and look at it and enjoy it, because this is my passion.
I love hearing that, Farshad. So that leads me to the conclusion.
Yes.
Okay.
We are here. We want to develop this project. We want to have create wealth for everyone, for people in the community, and create opportunity for everyone. Of course, for major mining companies as well.
Okay. Look, Farshad, it's been over 30 minutes. I've had enough of your time. You've been very generous. I want to thank you for that. Very succinct. I appreciate that. Right to the point. Very informative. Again, thank you for participating in the interview. I hope we can do it again soon. This has been a lot of fun for me. And I'd like to thank everyone who's watching this, particularly those of you in the Telegram discussion board. I am sure there's already a lot of discussion this morning, or today, I should say, about the news release that came out, and I think it's going to just escalate now that we've been able to conduct this Q&A session. So, yes. Farshad, again, I'd like to thank you for your time, and I want to wish you a very nice remainder of the day.
Thank you. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and goodbye to everyone.
Bye, Farshad.
Bye.